Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about RAM memory power supply. How does it work? And how does it get generated? So we talked about Super I/O and we said in every laptop we have a chip called Super I/O. Super I/O. Okay? And in Super I/O we said that we have a pin that goes to the power button. Okay? So the Super I/O will keep monitoring this button. If this button gets pressed, the Super I/O will sense it and it will generate two signals. One is power button out and the other one RSM reset. Okay? Both of these signals will go to the PCH. So the Super I/O will send the power button out signal to the PCH to inform it that the power button has been pressed. Okay? And then the Super I/O will also send a signal called RSM reset for the PCH to reset and start working. As soon as the PCH receives the RSM reset, it will reset and then it will start to work. It will send back two signals to the Super I/O, SLP S3 and SLP S4. The PCH will generate two signals, SLP S3 and SLP S4. These two signals will be sent to the Super I/O again. And then the Super I/O will produce a signal as soon as it gets these two signals, SLP S3 and SLP S4. It will provide a signal, or it will generate a signal called sus on. And this signal works as enable signal for many regulators. One of them is the RAM memory regulator IC, memory IC, regulator IC. This IC will then drive two MOSFETs, N-channel MOSFETs. One is high side and one is low side MOSFET. Both of these MOSFETs are used to regulate the voltage. So we have a MOSFET here and another MOSFET here. One is connected to ground and one is connected to 19 volts power supply. Both of these N-channel MOSFETs are connected to one point, and this point goes through a coil and smoothing capacitors and then to RAM VDD. So these two MOSFETs are driven by this regulator, and this regulator will only start work when it receives the sus on signal. It will start to drive high side and low side MOSFET to regulate the voltage at the RAM VDD point. And this point here, this voltage here, the VDD, depends on the RAM that is used on that specific motherboard. So if it is DDR3, for example, DDR3, the voltage here should be 1.5 volts. If it is DDR4, for example, it should be 1.2 volts, like that. So the voltage here depends on what RAM is used on that specific motherboard. Also, the output of these two MOSFETs is getting monitored by the IC, the memory regulator IC. This VDD means voltage drain. Sometimes you will find it, let's write this VDD. Sometimes you will find it VCC, and this means voltage collector. If you find it VSS, this means voltage source supply. And sometimes you will find this VEE, and this means voltage emitter. Both of these are used as a ground, GND, and both of these are the positive side. So the RAM VDD, we said it depends on what type of memory is used. Is it DDR1, DDR2, DDR3, DDR4, and so on. Okay, so if you don't have this VDD voltage, it might be the regulator itself or the MOSFETs, or this enable signal is not getting produced by the Super I/O. Why the Super I/O is not producing the sus on? Maybe these two signals are not getting produced by the BCH. Why BCH is not producing these SLBS3 and SLBS4? It's not getting, maybe it is not getting RSM reset, or its crystal is not working properly, so the BCH will not work. So this is all about RAM memory power supply. I hope you all find it helpful. Thank you so much, and see you in another video.